Good morning, y'all. Listen, look at this. Before we get into the Christmas season now, we've been eating fat foods all holiday season of Thanksgiving, and I am going to eat me a vegetable this morning or today, and I'm going to use my meat cleaver to cut it. And I know you know what it is, don't you? It's a rutabaga. Well, this is one of many meat cleavers that I have, y'all. And they are so much fun to use and makes my life a lot easier. When the meat cleaver is thick and heavy like this one is, it works better for me. Now I have to use both hands to do mine. Now here's my rutabaga. Isn't that pretty? I bought 3 of them. I'm going to fix me a big pot of rutabagas today. I'm going to have a whole cake cornbread, which I'll show you how to fix that. And I'm going to make some of this. I'm going to make a little y'all sweet tea today, too. So anyway, that's all I'm having for lunch. I'm having rutabagas and a whole cake of cornbread, which I'm going to show you how to do that. And we're going to make us some y'all sweet tea. So anyway, George and I have always collected meat cleavers, and the hole in it is for hanging it up in your kitchen so it won't get rusted or something. I usually put mine in a container that I hold them in. This handle is wooden, but it is really so used that somebody years ago covered it. That is covered with some kind of tape right there. So here we go. I'm just going to put mine on a cloth like this because rutabagas are very hard to peel. So, because of that, I cut them up and then I peel them, okay? And here's how I do it. I aim, I use both hands. Sometimes they fall on the floor. I just pick them up and wash them off. Stick him back down in there. Woo! There he went. Now I can do it flat ways and it'll do good, okay? The first thing is always the hardest. And you just chop these up. There with the one that's on the floor. I told you I'd do that, didn't I? Okay, now then these are going to be really easy to peel. All you do then is just get you a good knife. Mine's sharp, and see, I hadn't got to peel all the sides. I could just peel it like this, but to hold that big rutabaga in my hand and peel it is hard. So there it is, and what I do next is this. I'm going to pick that one up off the floor in a minute. I'm going to cook it too. I cut it in cubes. Now, if you've never tried a rutabaga, honey, you are missing something, I'm telling you. You can, when you cook it, you can put a little bit of bacon grease in it, or a piece of bacon, or a piece of fat back, or a streak of lean, either one you want to use. But don't put much because you don't want to camouflage the taste of this vegetable. And it is extremely good for you. Look up rutabagas. Now I think that some people in the north, if I'm not mistaken, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong, you northerners, y'all can write in and tell me. But I think y'all cook the greens too, don't you? Well, in our stores down here in Alabama, they never have the greens with it. All they have is this. Now, if you were growing them in your garden, I guess you could have. So anyway, see how tender they are? And so this is how you want to do it. Just cut them up in cubes, and we're going to cover them with water and slow boil it. Any of y'all collect meat cleavers? Let me tell you a little history on this. I looked it up. I want to show you some of mine. Let me get them over here. Oh my goodness. It's hard for me to show y'all all of them, but a lot of them have a seal on it or a stamp on it telling you what kind it is. This one is a Case XX. So this was produced by the Case Company. Now some of these are meat bone cleavers, in other words, to chop through bones and stuff, and some of them are for vegetables. But there's one from the Case Company. double X, and it's got a wooden handle. All mine have wooden handles. Now this one I found very interesting because of those tiny little marks that you see right there. Somebody etched those in with a knife. I have one that somebody carved their initials in it. Now this one, let me see if it has a stamp on it. Yeah, it does right there. Let me wet it. Sometimes you can see it better if it's wet. Let me kind of do a little bit with this, see if it shows up better. No, I still can't read it. I don't know what brand name it is. Now this one though, I think it has a brand name on it. This is Elf Dick, and it was made in Germany. It was produced in Germany. Isn't that a fine one? It's heavy, y'all. It's so good for your muscles. You can just take it up and do like this, and oh, I'm not going to drop it. I got a good hold on it. But they're wonderful. They are wonderful, such as what I'm doing today. It makes my work so much easier. But I have all of these. Let's see. Here's one right here that's called Bridewell. Bridewell. And it was made in the United States. And see what a nice handle. And do you see how the metal goes from the blade all the way down into the handle? This makes it stronger and makes it last longer. And I don't know about this one. I'm sure it did too. The weight is so different than these two. That one's one of my favorites. All right, this one is a Bridewell, and it's solid steel, and it's made in the USA. All right, both of those are, somebody carved a W on this one. Right there, and it's got a wooden handle. See how old it is? Aren't they beautiful? I love these things. Okay, this one is really different from the others because that metal on that one probably goes down into the handle. But it's different, and it's very lightweight. I don't like this one as much. And somebody, they put their Social Security number on it. They actually carved or their Social Security number on there. I know that's one. I'm not going to read it out because, hey, somebody might not want you to know it, but I got it. But I won't tell anybody. All right, so then this one, let's see what it says. If it says anything at all. No, I don't see anything on that. But I will show you something on this that's interesting. And this has it too. You know, you got a sharp blade on that side, okay? On this side, do you see how that is flat right there? It's thick and it's flat. That's for pounding. Let's say you cut your meat and then you want to tenderize it. Well, you put it on this side and tenderize it by pounding it. That's your pounding part. See how thick it is? And this got the metal going all the way through it. And I don't see a mark on this one. I do not see a mark on that one. Okay? And let's see if there's one on here. Anyway, I've got a whole bucket of these things. And I love them. Now this one's very unusual because it's so tiny. This is just a little bitty kitchen one. It's so light, it's nothing to it. You won't get any muscles using this one. Okay. Oh my goodness. And here's another one. It's got a good flat edge on this one too. I don't know where the one is I have that's got the initials on the thing. I think though, by looking at them, I think this is one of my older ones. See how long the handle is? That makes a difference in how you wouldn't want a meat cleaver that's heavy at this end and just a tiny little handle like that. You can't handle it. You gotta have a big handle on these. And it's got the metal going down through it. And look at that extra strength that they've got all the way around that. See there? This one's rusty. You can clean this exactly like you do a black skillet. You can use some white vinegar and soak it overnight, which will kind of soften that rust. And then take you a Brillo pad or a steel wool is what I would use, and then clean it. And you'll have a nice cleaver. You can hang those up. But all of them have the hole. Every one of them. Every single one of them have the hole. I'm not sure what that was for. So if any of y'all know, y'all are meat cleaver collectors, let me know. Because this has 2 holes. Let me fix it where you can see it. And got the little teeth on it. And I'm not really sure about this one. This is the one with the Social Security number on it. So it may be yours. I don't know. But it's mine now. Now look at this fine handle. They put a lot of time and work in that one, didn't they? Some of these, I think, are handmade. This does not have any initials on it that I can see. Yes, it does. Oh, my goodness. I didn't know that. Let me wipe this off where I can see if it comes through a little bit better, where I can look at it. Let me get over here to the light. This one is WM BEATTY no, that's not it. Wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute. WMBEATT Beatty and Son. Beatty, BEATTY and Son. In Chester, this one's made in Pennsylvania. And look at that handle on it. Isn't that fine? I bet this is a valuable one. You can find these anywhere from $10 to $1,000, according to what kind of shape they're in and that sort of thing. Now, years ago, the Chinese had used them, but what they did is they had a stone on the end of a handle that they popped bones with and worked, and then later the blade actually came into use. So, I'm going to finish cutting up my rutabagas with all these fine cleavers. And there's 2 ways you can spell cleaver, so y'all might want to look that up. And I'll enjoy my collection. But let me finish peeling these, and we'll talk a little later about it. But anyway, see how easy they are to peel after you've got them where you can manage them. My mother always loved to cook a big pot of rutabagas. And I did too. And I love these things. And my Hannah and Dallas love them. And my grandchildren, they like them too, y'all. Yesterday, I went to the grocery store and I bought these. And I also bought, which I'll show y'all those later, I also bought some turnip roots. Well, I got up there to the counter. There was a sweet little old boy up there. And I had them in one of those clear bags that they have back at the vegetable area. And, he was fixing to weigh them and put a price on it. And he looked at me and he said, "Now, what are these?" Because he didn't know what button to press, I guess. He didn't know what it was. I said, "It's a turnip root." He said, "I thought maybe that's what it was." I said, "Have you ever eaten turnip roots?" And he said, "No, ma'am." He said, "But I ate collards for the first time during Thanksgiving." I said, "You did?" And he said, "Yes, ma'am." I said, "How'd you like them?" He said, "Well, I thought they kind of taste like grass." I said, I said, "It's because they probably just didn't know how to cook them." I said, "They're actually really good." So, I'm going to have a nice pot right here. I'm telling you, a nice pot of rutabagas. It's something that I like to have during the holiday, like between Christmas and Thanksgiving. I like to eat stuff like this. This is how I like to eat. And then when Christmas comes, we'll have something rich to eat again. And then I'll be craving peas and cornbread and rutabagas and and that kind of stuff. But if your hands are kind of weak like mine, then you may need a cleaver, because it does make your life a lot simpler. Yesterday at the Cottle House, I was trying to open some jelly for my guest. Couldn't do it. But one of the guests it was a man. So I just handed it to him and he opened it for me. So that's a good thing. All right, y'all. I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to take this cleaver, this Elf Dick cleaver from Germany, and I'm fixed to chop up these other two rutabagas and we're going to put them in a pot. Okay, y'all, I got my water over here getting hot. I got to turn it on if it's going to get hot for my y'all sweet tea. And I heard somebody in the grocery store the other day, and they said something like they were looking for the y'all sweet tea. I was on another aisle, and I heard them say, I want the kind with, I got to have the kind without the sugar. So I looked at her, and I went over there, and I said, all of it's without sugar. I said, you have to put in your own sugar. She said, oh, okay, well, good. Anyway, I wanted to show you this. This is what I do for my mulch pile. It's got coffee grounds in it, eggshells from yesterday. Now I'm going to put my rutabaga peelings in it. And sometime this afternoon, I'll walk out there to my mulch bed because it's kind of away from the house. And I'm going to throw this in it. And I'm making me some good, rich stuff for my flowers and vegetables for next year. I just throw it out there. I put a top on it. And I keep this right outside my door right there until it gets full. And it's just about full. Then I'll take it to my mulch pile. Okay, I'm fixed to put in 1 tea bag. I'm using caffeinated today. This is almost to a boil. I'm putting in 1 bag. I'm going to give it a quick little jiggle stir in there. I'm going to put a top on it for 9 minutes, and then I'm going to pour it up. And while that's steeping back there, let's make our cornbread. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a hoe cake cornbread, okay? Here's how you do it. All right, now it's really easy, y'all. It's easy, and this is something you can make a lot or you can make a little. And since I'm just going to be the only one eating this today, here's how I do it. Now, I do use the self-rising, White Lily self-rising. This is the kind that has that scarecrow on the front that says buttermilk. But if you can't find this, then try to get a self-rising kind of cornmeal. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 big spoons of cornmeal in here. This is a big old serving spoon. But it doesn't matter how much you put in there. You can put in 3 or you can put in 1. It's the consistency we're waiting on. I'm looking at my rutabagas because they're cooking and I don't want them to boil over. I'm going to put just a little bit of buttermilk at a time because you want this batter to be kind of stiff. And I am using whole buttermilk. You want it kind of stiff. This is just for me, so I'm making like 1 little pan. If you've got a little husband living with you and you want to do a little more, we'll put you 3 big spoons in there. All right, this is about right here. I'm going to show it to you. Just put a little bit in at the time so you won't mess up. No egg goes in it, not in this little hoe cake. That's about right. See there, see how thick it is? Put just a scoop more. Just a scoop. Somebody said, Brenda, you say scoot all the time. You know what scoot means? Scoot means just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right, here you go. This is my batter. See how thick it is? It's kind of clumpy. All right, now then, come on over here and let's get set up. All right, y'all, we're ready to make a hoe cake, and you can't beat them. Now, I'm telling you. And these rutabagas right here, I covered them with water, and I've got my salt and seasoning in it. And I'm going to turn them down now because they're fixing to boil. But anyway, I like to cover mine with water, and I like them to keep them covered. So if it takes a good while to cook a rutabaga because they're hard to cook. You just have to make sure they're good and tender before you turn them off. But when I have leftover cornbread, I crumble my cornbread in the juice, the pot liquor of the rutabaga. And that's the way I like it. All right, so we're fixing to fry up this cornbread. So you can use some olive oil. You can use all vegetable oil, but I'm going to mix mine today. And you want a pretty good little bit in there. I'll put some olive oil. Let it go around. The only reason I'm using both of them today is because olive oil is so expensive. I'm going to put a little bit of vegetable. There you go. And that's going to get hot. And I'm going to cook this slowly. So you take your batter. Now, this is important, so watch. Watch it. You take your batter and you put it in the middle of the pan. Make sure you turn it down to about 3 or 4. And then gently pat it out flat and pat it out kind of thin. And what's going to happen is around the edges, it's going to be real crunchy. And then after a while, I'm going to take my spatula and flip it over. Okay? I'm going to turn it back up to 6, I think. It's right now, it needs to cook a little bit faster than it's cooking. And so it'll have good crunchy around the edges. And then it'll have a good soft part on the inside. And that's what I'm going to eat with my rutabagas today. And you talking about healthy, I mean, just think about it. Think about it. I think a lot of you are worried about what kind of food you're eating. And you're thinking, oh, that's not healthy or this is not healthy. But let me say something. My food is not out of a box. It doesn't have any preservatives in it. That's a rutabaga right out of somebody's garden. That cornmeal right there, I don't even know what I did with it. Here it is. That's ground up corn. Ground up corn. And so that is healthy. I mean, you know, it's got a recipe on the back. But it's not for a hoe cake. It's for a different kind of cornbread. And, you know, I've shown you how to use several types of cornbread. I mean, we've made water bread and everything else. So I'm turning it down now to about 3. I'm going to let it cook real slow. I'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, what I'm doing right now is I'm taking the edge of my spatula. Get over here, darling. Get over here where you can see, y'all. Let me put you down here. Taking the edge of my spatula and I'm pulling this in a little bit. And I've got it on low to try to make me a little bit of an edge right there. And in a little bit, I'm going to put this spatula up under it to make sure it's not sticking. I have had it stick, but I ate it anyway. That's going to be my little pone of bread. My rutabagas are cooking and boiling over here. We're going to have a good dinner. Yes, sir, retail Bob. So let me get all this done. I'm going to strain up my tea and I'm going to turn my bread in a little bit so we could have lunch. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take my spatula and gently kind of do this around it in case it's sticking. Just a little bit, like that side right there is wanting to stick just a tad. There we go. I got it undone now. And I'm going to continue cooking it. Okay, y'all, my tea is steeped. I'm going to do this up real quickly. I've got my ice in my pitcher. I am not putting sugar in mine today. I am not putting sugar. As Hannah says, we're going to diet until Christmas, and then we'll eat again. But what I'm cooking today, the cornbread, rutabagas, and tea, it's going to be good, and it's not going to be fat. It's just going to be nutritious. Okay, got that ready. Now this is going right here. This tea bag, this is going to go in my mulch pile. Okay? Like I did the other part. Okay, my cornbread is kind of ready on one side. So I fixed to flip it over. And sometimes this is where you're going to mess up. But when you mess up, just stick it back together. It's still going to be good. It doesn't matter if it looks pretty. All right, so I'm going to go under it like this. Make sure it's all loose first. Put my spatula completely under it and do a quick flip. Woo! There we go. See how it's looking? That's going to be a nice little hoe cake right there. Now, you'll notice that around the edges, it soaked up what little bit of grease I put in it. So I'm going to add just a tad more because I want that crunchy, I want that greasy flavor around it. I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil around here. Okay? And continue cooking it. And it's going to get real crunchy. Okay, we'll just have to wait on it. All right, y'all, our cornbread, our pone bread is ready. And I wanted to show it to you. Now, our rutabagas are not ready, but it's okay. I wanted to cook something a little bit ahead of time. Somebody sent me this. They sent me a set of this dark eggplant purple and a set of kind of a peachy color. So I'm excited about it. It had a set, it had a cup, a bowl, a pie plate, a dessert plate, and a plate. I'm going to turn the rutabagas down a little bit. Okay, anyway, here's the cornbread. Let me turn you down where you can see it good, all right? And so you just stick your spatula up under it and put it on your plate. I'll flip it over to the other side where you can see that side too. Now, y'all, this takes a good while to cook. In other words, it's got to cook slow, and it takes a while. It doesn't just get ready right then, you know. So and it's good cold to go in your milk and stuff. So I got me a glass of tea right here, and I'm going to show you I can't show you how it tastes, but I can show you the texture. So what George's family used to do is when Miss Gant, let me move this off the eye. When Miss Gant fixed a pone of bread, it was passed around the table, and everybody took their hand on it like this and broke off a piece of bread like that. That's what they did to go with their peas. Everybody got some of the edge because they like the crunchy. Well, the inside part is kind of soft, and there's not much crunchy on it, and that's what Miss Gant ate, whatever was left over. So I've broken me off a piece. But this is delicious. Don't skimp on your oil because that makes it good. It's delicious. Anyway, I thought what we could do now while our rutabagas are cooking, y'all could walk outside with me and we could look at my mulch pile because I really need to empty the bucket. You want to go with me? Come on. I keep it right here beside my door. There it is. That's where I keep it. I take the top off of it, and then I start walking to my mulch pile. So come on. All right. It is foggy today. I'm still eating that little piece of bread till I get to the mulch pile. It's way out there. See how foggy? I don't want it close to my house. The other day, Hannah and Walt's dog found my mulch pile and she got in it. She wanted all these eggshells. Look at the leaves, how many leaves I've got. A bunch of them. Anyway, so there's my mulch pile. And you can see I've got a pineapple growing right there where I threw it out, and it's actually growing. I've got some gourds. I've got some Indian corn where we decorated. Somebody sent me that. I've got, my goodness, I threw out a piece of an onion, and look at there. Look what's happening, y'all. It's growing. See there? And I let the leaves fall on it and all. And so what I do is I take this bucket right here, just throw it on. Get it empty. I'll rinse it out in the house and start over. But you can take you a shovel and scoop what's at the bottom up to the top, and maybe break up that gourd over there. And next spring, some of these gourds will probably start growing. But there's an onion that's actually growing in there where I had cut the bottom off of it. And there's another pineapple. It's probably growing. There's a pineapple is growing. So we've just got stuff coming up in there. And I imagine I'll have some stalks of corn too next year. But anyway, that's where I put all my mulch. Okay, we can walk back in. I want right here, I've got my camellias. My nose is running this morning. Are beginning to start blooming again. You know, I showed them to you last year. Right here they are. That's one bush of them. Let me turn this around. There they are. Look at that. What a pretty bouquet that would make today in my house. But I'm not going to pick them today. I got too much going on. But at Christmas time I will. I'll come out here and won't be too long. Well, it's about 3 weeks to Christmas. Something like that, 2 weeks, not long. And I've got another one down there beginning to bloom. You know, I like a good old foggy morning. George used to say, it's kind of froggy out here. Instead of foggy, he'd say froggy. He was a mess, y'all. He was a mess. I miss him so much. And Mark Lowry, they gave me some plants out of their yard. And so, Mark, if you're listening today, I got them planted, and they are growing. Let me see. Somebody sent me a new flag. I've got it up. Here's something Mark gave me. He called it a Mexican petunia. And they gave me that one. And then I planted some of them over here when I got back from Texas visiting with him. So thank you, Mark, for that. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. My bed doesn't look good right now, y'all, because it's winter. There's my running rose. It's putting on little new stuff on it, so it'll be pretty. I need to cut it back some. Look at it. It's too big, isn't it? There's my bird of paradise, which got killed, but it'll come back out from the root. It's just that it's wintertime and things don't look as good as they do in the summertime, do they? There's my hen and Biddy. There's my bird waterer I need to clean out. It's always something to do, isn't it? I see a spider has built a web up there in my lemon tree. I don't see him, but there's his web. He's somewhere. Well, y'all, it'll be more than an hour before these are ready, because it takes these a while. But see how the water is at the top, and I'm cooking them really super slow. And they're going to be absolutely delicious with that cornbread and a glass of tea. Uh-oh, wrong pot. And as I said, that's all I'm having for lunch. And that's enough. That is enough. All right, I'm going to post this now. And listen, y'all remember to share and to like. You know, it's great if you comment. I love to read your comments. I do read them. But it's great if you share and you like it, because some of y'all are saying that you're not getting me. Well, you got to share and like, or you won't get me. You will not get me. I don't know what it is with Facebook, but that's the truth. So share it and like it. And if I put a link on there for something, click on it. See what it says. Love y'all. Have a great day. And buy some rutabaggers, as George used to call them, putabaggers. Bye. Love you. It's going to be good, y'all. Really good.